I'm going to make a prediction here that millennials are going to be riding motorcycles. Actually, there's been a major decline in motorcycle sales with the millennial generation. If you look at the Harley Davidson owner, they seem to just be the same buyers every year. That they get older and older and older, and eventually they're not going to be around anymore. It seems like that's one motor company that's having a hard time, but they're also that's the case with all the motorcycles. Seems like millennials have not gravitated towards motorcycles, but one of the things that's going to bring them there is the price of gasoline. You look at California, sky high prices now. We've got the new gas tax on there, $3.75 a gallon average. I think in my state, Florida, it's about $2.50 a gallon, quite a bit difference. And you might say, well, we can go to electric cars like a Tesla, but a lot of millennials can't afford an electric car. They're between like $65,000 and $95,000. Then also out in California, in states like California, Nevada, Arizona, Montana, Texas, you might have a long open stretch of road where you got to make a long highway trip. You're not going to be able to do that in an electric car. I know Tesla's going to come out with a new model, I think for $33,000 or something. That's got a 220-mile range. But even that's not going to be adequate. That's not going to do the job. That's not going to do the job, especially if you're out there in California. It's good for, around town. But if you're going from, you're going up the coast on I-5 or whatever, you forget it. You got to make a long trip. That thing's not going to have an adequate range. There's not going to be enough charging stations right now. So the immediate response probably is going to be the bicycle. But if you can ride a bicycle, to tell you the truth, you can ride a motorcycle. Same principles, and I think the motorcycle actually is safer in a lot of ways because you got turn signals, you got power. You're not riding alongside the road where traffic's going by you at a much higher rate. You're in with the traffic. You got brake lights. You got the power to get out of the way. You don't have that with a bicycle. And again, you're traveling along at the same speed. There's a lot of advantages to a motorcycle. Big disadvantage if you ever get in an accident, it could be really bad. But that's the main difference. But if you're careful, you probably won't get no damn accidents. You won't get any accidents. But in the United States, motorcycle riding is really recreational, mainly. If you look in a lot of other countries, it's not recreational. It's actually a necessity. You go to Japan, even in the UK, it could be a sport, it could be a hobby. But most other countries, it's not recreational. It's actually a necessity, partly due to the price of gasoline. But as gasoline prices start increasing, I think also, if we get in a conflict with Iran or something, so that almost happened here recently, that would be something that would really drive up gasoline prices a lot. And, it could be over $5 a gallon. And, the other thing is initial purchase price of a motorcycle is a way lot less than any car. Yeah, they're pretty impractical in a lot of ways, but in some ways, if you're really inventive, you can travel with quite a bit of goods on a motorcycle. There's a lot of ways to carry things. Of course, there's always the sidecar you can add in a trailer. I've never added one of those to my bike, but I've had a lot on there. It took like the the Marine Corps Alice pack. Fill that up. You got your saddlebags. You got a tank bag. You can put a tank bag in the front on top of the tank. Usually they can hold quite a bit too. And you add all that stuff up, you got about a half as much as a trunk of a car on a motorcycle you can carry with you. So it can do quite a bit. It can do quite a bit. Of course, you can get something like this, the Pumpkin Rider. But if you get something like a really high-end motorcycle, it can be ridiculously expensive. But if you get something used, even the Harley Davidson's used are not that much money. If you're talking like a Sportster, you can get them for $2,000-$3,000 in really great shape. And it's a tried and true platform out there. But I don't know, the millennials don't. Well, you got to remember this, even all the motorcycle clubs and gangs right now, they're full of millennials right now. They're just a different breed of millennials, but they probably don't represent the average millennial that's out there. But you're going to see a hell of a lot more millennials riding motorcycles. And I guess up north, that's the main problem. I know some people have rode them pretty much all year. But I tried riding sometimes. Well, I guess if I did it with a windshield, it wouldn't have been so bad. But I tried riding in like 35, 37-degree weather, and it was pretty damn bad without a windshield. I froze my butt off. So I guess if you got a windshield and stuff, you might be able to survive doing that for a short trip. But down in California, Florida, you can ride all year, no problem. Yeah, no problems with it. I mean, I even rode my bike up to Mount Palomar, California, a couple times. It was like, I guess it was about 65, 70 degrees down by the coast, and I rode up to Mount Palomar because there was snow up there on the cap, right, up on the top of the mountain. And the roads were clear. If I was riding a motorcycle, but except on the way back down, people were putting snow on top of their car roofs, and every time they go around a corner, that snow would fall off the roof and be right in the road. And I was pretty scared coming down that hill. I can tell you that right now. But I just took it nice and easily. It was pretty gingerly on the brakes and the gas, and uh, made it down no problem. But even something like that, going up a windy hill like that with some snow on the hill, it's possible. It's possible if you really got to do it. You got to be careful. Got to apply all those principles and stuff. But the deal is, I think a lot of people, mostly motorcycles is a Hollywood image right now. You see them in the movies and stuff like that, but you don't see too many actual people riding like you used to, and that's the newer generation that's kind of gotten away from it. Um, Back in the day, it was a lot more popular, not just for recreation riding, but just everyday riding for going to work and stuff. But now, seeing the high price in California, and if you add on if they have some kind of conflict in the Middle East or something like that, the gas prices can jump up $1, $2 a gallon. It could be over $5 a gallon there in California, well, for overnight real soon. And people are going to be looking hard at these motorcycles because sure you could buy a Tesla, but millennials they don't have the money to buy Teslas or anything like that. I know they advertise for Tesla on YouTube and stuff to them, but you're kind of marketing to the wrong audience. I wouldn't even buy a Tesla, even though I can afford one, but I'm not going to buy one. To me, it's a waste of money, but I like my motorcycle better. I like my Harley better. But I've had that thing since 1989. So, but the thing is, people are. I know there's some derogatory things that are said about millennials, and sometimes I agree with that. But people are the same humans all the way through. It's just a matter of you get pushed to the wall. You're gonna adapt and overcome. You're gonna see millennials riding these things in the snow. You see them riding them in the dirt, riding them in through the desert, riding them down the highway, and sticking together in groups and stuff like that to protect you from the cars. That's one of the reasons you do that. That's one of the reasons. Tell you, club rides they're a lot safer because you got you got your scout in the front, you got your rear guard, you got like basically you're running like a platoon, man. So you got any kind of problems coming up, everybody takes care of each other. That's one reason they got club rides. A lot of people don't realize that it's a lot safer riding in a group. You got like you're running formation, just like you got in the military. That's the way it is. And but millennials will learn all this stuff. It ain't that hard. You just got to keep applying yourself and learn it. But it's going to come full circle, and probably everybody's going to toughen up a lot more. But I predict motorcycles are going to be back in vogue. I mean, the sales have been slumping over the years, especially the millennial generation don't like them. That's all the stats saying. Very few millennials are buying motorcycles, but I think it's going to turn around due to necessity. Because hey, you're going to buy a Tesla for $66,000 to $95,000, or maybe the new one for $33,000 that they come out with. Got a 220-mile range. That's not going to do you too much good in California or Texas or Montana or one of the open western states. That's good like if you're just traveling around town or something, or maybe making short highway trips. But what are you going to do like if you drive from the west coast of California, go to Vegas or something like that, or Carson City, what are you gonna do? 220 miles in that thing? You'd be stuck in the middle of the desert, waiting, saying, "Where do I plug this thing in?" And a solar panel ain't gonna get you out of there quick, that's for sure. So, gasoline's the way to go. And these motorcycles too, like I like the Harley because, like, even on my motorcycle, my Sportster originally came with a 2.2 gallon gas tank. But first, one of the first things I did was I put the 3.8 gallon Mustang tank on it with the dual gas caps. One of them's fake, one's real, but it's got dual caps on the top. And that gave me like almost double the range. And even with that motor that's been built up quite a bit more, um, it gets 48 to 50 miles to the gallon. That's pretty good. Not too many cars get that. I mean, real life, not some rating on a piece of paper, real life. That motorcycle gets 48 to 50 miles a gallon, and it's pretty quick too. It's not a stock bike. It was weird that when I put the cam in it and the valves and did the head work, the mileage actually, even though the power went way up, the miles per gallon actually increased. So, but yeah, they'll figure it out. Tell you what, the world changes, and sometimes it just goes in cycles. When things get tough, people adapt and they overcome. That's just the way it goes. So I think millennials are going to be into motorcycles again due to the gas prices.